Hey there, this is DM and you are listening to my notes. Okay, today's notes are on medieval Europe after the collapse of Charlemagne's empire. So, after the collapse of Charlemagne's empire, Europe had lacked a unified political space, okay? So, the problem was administrating taxes in this ununified political space. It was a very big nightmare for the sovereigns and the authorities involved. So what they did was they used signorage, which was the printing of money and then using the access value of the printed money to fund their revenue models. One cool little thing that we should all note is the money that was printed using coinage, with silver the metal of choice for higher value coins and bronze or other less valuable metals and alloys for smaller denominations, okay? So the medieval money issuers, the issuers of these coins, decided not to put a denomination, a value to these coins. So how was the value determined? The value of the coins was then fixed by edicts published by the sovereign on whose political authority they were minted. And this gave the sovereign some very interesting powers because they could cry down the coin. That is, they could announce that a coin is no longer worth 1 shilling, but could be worth 7 pence. They also had the power to do the complete opposite. So if they wanted to raise the price of a coin or the value of a coin, they could say, hey, this coin is now worth 1 shilling and not 6 pence. This whole process was actually very unpopular with the users of the sovereign's coinage. Of course, people being people, they figured out a way to get around this by using the high value coins minted from silver, alright? So silver had an intrinsic value. Basically, it could be sold on the open market to smiths and jewelers. So now, silver was something that they wanted to control. So here's what the sovereign did. For the silver coins, what they did was they removed a lot of the silver content. So say one coin was made up of 0.99% of silver. Well, they would move it to where it would be 0.12% of silver or something to that effect. So that's also known as debasement. So this actually goes on today too. I'll give you a recent example from 2016 where India literally demonetized, or rather cried down, the 500 rupee note and the 1,000 rupee note. So nowadays, the safeguard against these crying up or crying down of money, the demonetization of specific notes, is done through blockchain. You would have your assets all in blockchain technology, whether it's, in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or whatever you have it in. And that way, the government can't do this to you. They can't take away all the wealth that you've gathered throughout your life or from the very beginning of your life or whatever. So this is the natural safeguard now. What was the safeguard back then? How were people, how were they saving themselves from this type of predatory financial practices? And that'll be the topic of the next video, where we talk about the rise of the banks and what that really meant and why the banking system was actually a good thing given the time and the context. And then after, we'll touch on the marriage of the banks and the state and how that all went down. So stay tuned. Hopefully you're gonna enjoy all of this, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Peace. Thank you so much. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.